Welcome to Doc's Daily Dose for Dads, prescribed by Dr. Harrison. You know, I think it's a good idea every now and then to do some self-reflection, a self-evaluation. And in this particular case, I want to evaluate who I am as a father. So I got an exercise that I've done that I think it's a good idea for you to do as well. And I'm going to run through it here. I've got some notes for myself to kind of jog my memory exactly of what I came up with. So for these exercises, or this particular exercise, what I would like you to do is take out a sheet of paper, split it down the middle. And on one side, put weaknesses. On the other side, put strengths. And I want you to list the top 3 weaknesses you have as a parent and the top 3 strengths you have as a parent. Now, a part of this is being as specific as possible, because if you give big, grand concepts and ideas, well, you're not really talking actionable steps that you can correct. There's all these different behaviors that go into big concepts and ideas. So try to stick to one specific behavior, a specific thing that you do. So when I think about mine, I'll go with my weaknesses first. 1, I smoke cigarettes. Now, I don't smoke in the house. I don't smoke in the car with my kids. I don't smoke with them next to me, even if we're outside. But if we are outside and they're playing out in the yard, I may be back in the corner by the gate having a cigarette. Or if I'm inside my garage man cave and they're in the trampoline, I'll have a cigarette. And it's close enough that they know what I'm doing, they can see me, and it's potentially a bad habit they'll pick up. I mean, I used to watch my dad smoke all the time, and that was back in the day when parents would smoke in the car. I mean, my best friend, when I was a kid, his parents smoked in the car and on cold days with the windows up, regardless of how many kids were in the car. Now, what could I do to change that? This is the other part of the exercise. What steps are you going to take? Well, I can make sure that I wait to have my cigarette or take myself completely away where they can't observe that. The second one is we tend to host a lot of barbecues here, especially for pay-per-view fights and for basketball or football games. And when we're here, we like to party. While I'm barbecuing, I like to have the grill going, talking, having a drink, and sometimes the party gets a little rowdy. No one ever gets belligerent or sloppy or is throwing up. I don't allow that at the house, especially with the kids around. But we can get pretty lit, pretty toasted, pretty faded, pretty nice, right? And again, the kids don't need to be around that. Now, I'm not saying that they shouldn't be around drinking at all, because it's a part of life in a social situation, and they're going to decide whether or not they want to partake when they're old enough. But we could tone it down a bit, or at least wait until they go to sleep around 8:30 to kick the party up a notch. But still be responsible so no one is belligerent, sloppy, or falling all over the place, which we've got that part keyed in. So I think what I'm going to do there to work on that is when we do have these events, just take it a little slower and babysit the drink until the kids have gone to sleep, and then we can have a little more adult fun. The last one is I do work, right? And I work from home. So often I'll have to grade papers or do something like that, and sometimes it comes at the expense of my kids' time. I mean, they're in school all day, so when they get out, they've got, 4 or 5 hours before bedtime and dinner included that, before they got to go to sleep. But with the current job I have, I teach classes at least 1 to 2 hours during that period, during dinner time. And so I could change my hours of the side admin work I have to do for either when they're sleeping or wake up an hour earlier to knock it out, and really bust my ass with stuff like this to make this my livelihood, so that way I could leave the job of teaching during dinner time and hangout time with my kids. So that's the plan. And as you can see, putting out a video a day, content every single day, that's my goal, is to bring value to you guys so that this is what you want from me, a voice in this world. Now let's move to my strengths. And the actionable steps you can take for your strengths is simply doing more of it. I think one of my biggest strengths, the first one, is I say I love you to my kids all the time for no reason other than to share with them that I love them. The other day I was telling them how I think they're so special and have so many gifts and talents. And I'm so blessed that they're in my life, and I'm so blessed that they have all these gifts and talents. And nothing brought this on besides me wanting to share this with the boys. My middle one walked up to me in the middle of the day during Sunday and just said, "Oh, Daddy," and came and gave me a hug. And I just told him, "I love you. I love you very much." They're used to that. They get love all the time from me. And I can do that even more because I mean it. And what does that take out of my day? 3 seconds to say 3 words. I love you. The second thing I do really well is I speak to them and not at them. I speak with them and not at them. I speak to them like people because that's what they are. I don't talk down to them. I don't avoid or dismiss what they're saying. Even if it's something they're not supposed to be doing and they want to express something to me, I allow them to express it. Now, I may shut down what they're saying is completely wrong and irrational, but I at least give them the opportunity to have that conversation and justify whatever it is that they're doing, and for us to rationalize why they're wrong or potentially why they are right. When you allow them to speak like human beings, it's a skill they learn and they'll be able to speak up for themselves. They'll never feel like they have to keep quiet because it's an authority figure, an adult. Now, I don't mean being disrespectful and talking back, but they have a right to express how they feel. And I don't care how old they are. They can tell me what's going on. And they can tell any other adult who may be mad at them like a teacher, "No, wait, I know you're upset, but here was what I was thinking when this happened. Here's why I did it." Or, "No, wait, you're wrong. What you think happened is not what happened. Here's what actually happened." So I'm going to allow them to speak their mind more. I'm going to allow them to respectfully and logically and with their emotions show me what they're feeling through their words and their actions. The last one is I try my best to make sure to model for them and lead by example that there are no limits. You can do whatever you want in this world. The other day I was thinking to myself, in another world, I might have wanted to have been president. Now, I don't think that's a path for me anymore, right? But I have the fortitude enough to say to myself, if I wanted to do that, I can make that happen. If I want to be the voice for parents through Doc's Daily Dose, I'm going to make that happen. And by showing them that there's no limits, it's ingrained in them. They're conditioned to follow the same example that there's no limits for them. They can do and be and achieve anything they want in life. So what am I going to do? Lead by example even stronger and make sure that I'm reaching for heights beyond what I expect for myself, beyond what I think is my potential, and think greater and grander than I could have ever imagined. Because if you focus hard enough and you bust your butt enough and you're willing to do what it takes to get to where you want to go, at some point, you'll get there. It may not be the path you expected. It may not be exactly in the position that you thought, but you'll get there. The base fundamental of what you wanted, you'll get it. And I want to make sure that my kids know that and that they go after whatever they want. So you should take time to do your self-reflection and self-evaluation every 6-8 months, maybe even once a year. Write down the 3 things that are your weakest points as a parent, the 3 things that are your strengths as a parent. Follow up with actionable steps to correct the weaknesses and spending a little bit of time on that. But don't focus all your time on those weaknesses. Just chip away at them. Where you really need to spend your time is doubling down on your strengths. Make those things even better than they already are. So, what are you waiting for? Get started. That's Doc's Daily Dose for Dads. Don't forget to hashtag Doc's Daily Dose for Dads. Hashtag 4D, all social media at rebirthbx. Everything on Apple Podcasts, Google Play Music, or you can check out the website, rebirthbx.com. Enjoy your Monday. I look forward to talking to you for the rest of the week and the week after that and the week after that and the week after that. See you guys later.